About a year ago on this channel, I gave you 5 predictions of artists that I think are going to become huge, are going to blow up, are going to become viral sensations. And while so far none of those have come true, unfortunately, I still think there's enough time for these things to come true. You never know, you just don't know. And I thought, since why not? Let's do 5 more, shall we? Let's give you 5 more artists that I think are going to be huge one day. If you have your own, please let me know in the comments what your picks would be. Please tell me your thoughts on the picks that I'm going to give you. And I think the concept is pretty straightforward, so let's not waste any more time and let's just get into the 5 artists I think one day could be massive pop stars. It's surely a matter of time that Sam Gellaitry sees some success in the UK, at least, because he is a Scottish artist who is making some really fun dance pop music and is only seemingly getting better and better and better at it as he is now providing more vocal contributions to his work. As his earlier work was a little bit more off-kilter, wonky, as you may know, as a subgenre of electronic music, but nowadays it's a little bit more brighter, it's a little more extravagant and upbeat and danceable and groovy and so much fun. He has a collaboration with Pink Pantheress, who is a huge artist, so he's obviously known within the music industry, and I do think we have potential now to see him gain more and more success, and I think more and more of this type of music could be the way forward for him, because he's just dropped an EP and there's some absolute banging bops on there. Once again, he keeps delivering and doesn't fail. Alone is an absolutely fantastic track, and as of recording is one of my favorite tracks of the year, so there you go. I think there's a huge amount of potential with Sam Gellaitry. I think he could be much bigger than he is at the moment. I think, live sets and festivals are screaming out for more of this type of thing. He's been so good for so long, I could see it.
Accept me, I'm chilling by death.
I want to mention Brakence next. I think this one is a little out there in terms of predictions, honestly. It was kind of a similar case with Aries, but honestly Aries has a little bit more accessibility to his music, I would say, than Brakence. But I think Brakence is one that we're going to see become bigger as time moves by. I don't think it's going to be right yet at the moment. I think some of the genre blending and ideas that he comes through with are pretty progressive and pretty unique for the world of music, and I think will become quite influential, and I think we'll see more and more of this break through into bigger circles as the years go by. Like I've said with Hypochondriac, which was my album of the year last year, by the way, if you've forgotten already. You shouldn't have, because it was a huge album for me. I did say back then that I think there is something to this style and these styles coming together in such a cool way that within the decade moving forward, we could see more artists trying this and pushing these sounds and ideas together. And I do think there is a chance that this could be, potentially bigger than it is moving forward. Even if it's not necessarily Brakence himself, it probably would be Brakence's ideas and blends of emo pop and hyperpop and lots of other things that could push music forward. So I think, Brakence could be bigger. Bit of an outside shout though. I am more confident in my next pick for an artist who's going to blow up. Out of all the artists that are going to be mentioned across both of these videos that I've done, I do actually think my prediction of Barry Can't Swim becoming huge might be the strongest bet out of the lot, honestly. I think the danceable nature of his music, the festival ready house type of music that he's making, the fun, energetic rhythms that he comes through with are just so made for bigger audiences that it feels like it's going to happen for him at some point. And the reason why I'm quite confident in this is actually the more recent successes of an artist like Fred again, or maybe even a Peggy Gou, because they were artists that were bubbling and rising and rising and rising with huge followings on social media and managed to eventually break out with their own individual hits. with, you know, Fred Again's Adore You, that's become huge this year, and of course Peggy Gou with It Goes Like Na 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 Na, that track. So those kinds of artists have potential now to suddenly break big because of social media and having the kind of word of mouth spreading, and the fact that they are constantly, you know, headlining festival bills and, you know, doing their own DJ mixes, DJ sets, boiler rooms, that type of stuff. There just is so much opportunity for Barry Can't Swim to break big into the mainstream with this type of music, and obviously collaborations as well that could push the music even further. So yes, with all of that wavy rambling that I just did over there, I do think Barry Can't Swim has a good chance. And it's such a unique name as well. Who out there is called Barry Can't Swim? Come on, man. I see it. I see it. It's going to happen.
She's an uptown girl, drove in from the burbs, a legend in denim, a weapon in a skirt. She's a fine wine.
Similarly with Barry Can't Swim, this next artist, Reve, has an album coming out very soon. So these two predictions could actually come to fruition depending on how well these albums are doing. Now, before recording this video, I had a quick look at Reve, actually seeing how she was doing. I didn't even realize this album was on the way. So that was a complete accident. But for quite some time now, I've been wondering that Reve, could she become huge? Because honestly, there is something there. An incredibly accessible pop artist that's making music that can be a little hit and miss sometimes. Like Whitney for me was a pretty weak track. But then you've got tracks like Tong, you know, the hyper pop nature of tracks like this, the hypersexual nature, you could even say, of tracks like this as well, are huge sells at the moment. There are lots of artists like this, thinking of someone like Kim Petras, for example, who is massive at the moment. I think there is an audience, a market for Reve. I mean, considering how attractive she is as well, like she is ridiculously attractive. Like that is just all of the makings for a pop star right there in Reve. Charisma, makes the pop bangers, and is potentially going to be, you know, more well-known artist once this album comes out. We shall see. There's TikTok ability to her songs too. Yeah. Reve, I'm pretty confident on this one. Please check her out, see what you think, and see if there's something there, because I think there's got to be something there. And finally, ending on my boy James Ivy. I think at the moment, this style of music, this kind of throwback sound to the 2000s and the baggy sound that's coming through with a lot of artists at the moment, probably is going to bubble further than the underground, because we do see this sometimes where underground sounds are bubbling so heavily and bubbling so like aggressively that they can only eventually break past and make their way into more mainstream sounds. Hyperpop was a similar thing, even though if it isn't quite as big as I think some people predicted hyperpop to be, but there's no denying that there are lots of popular, well-known artists that are digging into that sound. And that sound was super niche back in like 2016. No one was out here really caring about it in the mainstream, and this throwback sound that we're getting from artists like George Clanton and Hatchie, and of course James Ivy as well, I think could bubble even further and break big. And also, I think James Ivy just has a real nice knack for a pop, hooky earworm that I think can, you know, resonate with a lot of other listeners out there too. I think it's very safe to play this kind of artist around people, and you'll get a few people that are interested because it is just really nice, solid pop music. I mean, Undertones, Silly Love, Involved. Yeah, there's so many great tracks that I think are really hard not to like. And I think James Ivy has lots of potential in what he's doing. So there we go. Bit of, again, slight outsider shout with this one, but I'm going to put my prediction in and hope for the best. And that is it. That is it from me. These are 5 more artists that I think are going to be huge one day. As I've said, I've done a video on this already. You should go and watch that video as well if you haven't already, because obviously there's another 5 that I mentioned there. And yeah, you've got 10 artists now. I could do another one of these one day too if you're interested in seeing more. Please tell me your thoughts on what I've said in this video, and then please also give me a list of your own artists in the comments too, with what you think and who you think are going to be huge, because there's a lot out there that I think could break through. So thank you for watching. Have a good day. Check out my Patreon as well. Join in the Discord server when you donate to me over on there. Subscribe. Goodbye.